Yes, Jets. What is going on, Jet fans? And welcome back to another episode of the Jets Ward. I am your host, Ryan Ward, and I'm so excited to be back with you guys. I got a fun one for you guys. But first, as you guys know, a little housekeeping for you guys. If you have been here before, welcome back. You know I always love having you guys here, no matter what, whether you're a Jets fan or not. You know you're always welcome here. And if you're new here, same goes for you guys. If you're a Jets fan or a fan of another team, you are always welcome here. Or if you're just a casual NFL fan who just likes to watch a game or two every now and again, you're still welcome here. Always love having all new members here. It's just so great. The Jets Board is a welcoming place, and everybody is always welcome here. This is a safe space for you guys. Now, getting into it, guys, the NFL is a crazy thing. There's free agents that are still available. There are players that could be on the trade block. The draft has already taken place, so other teams are adding in more talent. OTAs are underway. Things are going. And in all honesty, there's a lot that could still happen. Post-June 1st cuts are coming up, so surprise moves are going to be made. But one of the things that I always like doing, and I know a lot of NFL content creators like doing this as well, we always like to come up with surprise trades that could possibly happen. And with these surprise trades, some of them might be totally out of left field, which I know some of mine are. It's based on what I see from the teams, the moves that they made from the draft, what they've done in free agency, what the contracts are looking like, are players up on their contracts, and if players are happy or not. For example, Watt from Pittsburgh, he's been skipping OTAs because he wants a new contract. Sometimes when that happens, no matter how good the player is, they can end up getting traded for a haul. Will Pittsburgh trade him? Probably not. He's a great player there. Does get hurt sometimes, but still a solid edge rusher and solid piece. But that would be a surprise. That would be a shocker that a lot of fans would not see coming. And I know Pittsburgh fans would not be happy with that. But here are some, in my opinion, surprising trades that I think could happen. Now, will they? Jury's out. I'm not sure. I don't have any sources or anything. These are just my opinions based on what I've seen from the teams. Now, the first one, I'll let you guys on a little secret, is not really a big secret. We all expect this one to happen. We just don't know which team. But honestly, the first guy that I'm going to talk about is Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins was signed last year by the Atlanta Falcons to a really big contract. This guy, he's got to give his agent a raise because over the years, this guy has made so much money. And he's been a good quarterback overall. He has solid numbers. He's never been like top quarterback, never top 5 or anything like that. But he's had a lot of success in the NFL from his time with the Redskins, then his time with the Vikings. Last year, too, in the beginning of the season, he did okay. He's coming back from a serious injury, just like Aaron Rodgers did. But later down the stretch of the season, he got benched for Michael Penix, and Penix looked really good. And now you have a multi-million-dollar backup quarterback, and that's not something you want to do. Now, he is 36 years old. He's on the older side. He's 6'3", 205 pounds. He can still sling the ball really well, but he did make a lot of mistakes down the end of the year last year before he got benched. Now, does he still have what it takes to win a Super Bowl? Does he have what it takes to bring a team to the playoffs? I think he has what it takes to bring a team to the playoffs, but there's got to be a lot around him. For example, I think the best fit for him for a trade would be the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, I know the rumors are Aaron Rodgers might go to Pittsburgh. Honestly, I don't think that's going to end up happening. Well, however long this drags out, it's looking more and more like the Pittsburgh Steelers are not going to wait for him. Kirk Cousins is there. And honestly, I don't think he's going to cost a ton. As long as Atlanta picks up some of that contract, they could facilitate a trade. If they don't, they're not going to get much for him, or if anything. So I think if Pittsburgh sends them a 6th-round pick, I think they could have a new starting quarterback. And that would be very beneficial because right now, the quarterbacks on the Pittsburgh Steelers are Mason Rudolph, who is a solid number 2 quarterback, can spot start for you. He did it for the Tennessee Titans last year. but he's not somebody you want to put all your money in to. Then you got Will Howard, who you drafted in the later rounds, who I really like Will Howard, but I think he does need a year's sit. And who better than to sit behind than Kirk Cousins, who would be a great mentor, in my opinion, to a younger quarterback. Now, sending a 6th-round pick, it could be a little bit more, could be less, depending on the trade compensation and stuff like that. But I think Kirk Cousins would be a perfect fit for Pittsburgh. They have a solid, ready-to-go win a Super Bowl now defense. They need a quarterback. And honestly, I think Kirk Cousins could do really well with them. I think he could help that team out a ton. They have weapons. They have DK Metcalf as the number 1 receiver. They have Calvin Austin as the number 2 receiver. They have Pat Freiermuth as their number 1 tight end. They have a massive guy as tight end number 2 who's great in the red zone, who I can't think of his name right now, but he's a massive guy. They have weapons. They need a quarterback. And I think Kirk Cousins could be that quarterback. Now, 6th-round pick I think would be good for them. I don't think he's going to cost you a lot more than that. I don't think he goes for anything like a 4th or 3rd or anything. I think a 6th-round pick would be beneficial for him, especially since he's 36 and got benched last year for a rookie quarterback. So, Kirk Cousins, my number 1 surprising trade. Now we're going to get into some more of the shocking ones that I could see happening based on what the teams have done. And the first one is Xavier Legette. Now, you're probably thinking, and I think I spelled his name wrong, which I apologize, but Xavier Legette, he's a wide receiver that was drafted recently by the Carolina Panthers. He's only 24 years old. He's 6'3", 227 pounds. He's got good size. He's really athletic. He's got good speed. Somebody who was looked at as being an athletic freak coming out of college. Now, why do I think he could be on the trade block? And I know a lot of Carolina Panther fans would probably scream that there's no way they're trading him. Well, they just drafted Tet McMillan, who has the same types of skills as Xavier Legette. They have Hunter Renfrow that they just signed, who's looking good in the offseason at OTAs as well. And they have Adam Thielen as well, who is looking like his old self as well. 3 solid receivers right there who are going to get the ball thrown to them by their quarterback, Bryce Young. Xavier Legette, a lot of fans turned on him last year. And the reason for that was he was supposed to be the guy. He was supposed to be their number 1 receiver, the go-to guy. And whenever Bryce Young threw it up to him in a pressure moment, he dropped the ball. He had some really, really low moments that had a lot of Panther fans turn on him. So, honestly, with all of the moves that they've made, Tet McMillan and him have a very, very similar play style. Very physical, can block, can go up and get the ball, possession type of receivers. I think Xavier Legette could get Carolina back some picks. Now, where's his best fit? I think the Jets could be a really good fit for him. He reminds me a lot of like a Quincy Enunwa, that physical type of receiver. Get the ball in his hands, and I think he can run people over. He's got good size as well. He could complement Garrett Wilson, who is a fluid route runner. Gets open based on his skill set, his route running. That's not Xavier Legette's game. He's a possession type receiver. He is somebody who, you throw him the ball, he can use his power to get more yards. Not the best route runner, but his suit can do it. As a number 2 receiver, I think he could be really, really good. Now, Jets, I think, would be a great fit for him. The Jets, and a lot of fans would say, Jets need a number 2 receiver. Allen Lazard, a lot of drops, gets injured a good amount of times. Josh Reynolds, a lot of drops, can get injured as well a good amount of times. Tyler Johnson, unknown. Malachi Corley, don't know what you got in him. Did not see much of him last year. Was drafted last year, don't know what you got in him. Arian Smith, rookie that we drafted in the 4th round that a lot of teams or a lot of people thought we reached on. What did he deal with? Drops. A lot of them. Can take the top off of defense, could be a great slot receiver option for you. But drops. We have Quentin Skinner, undrafted rookie. Jamal Pritchett, undrafted rookie. Dimer Smith, undrafted rookie. So you're seeing what our receiving room is like right now. It's Garrett Wilson and then the rest. Xavier Legette, I think, could come in and be a solid number 2 option for the New York Jets. He's young, which fits that young style of player that the Jets want. He's hungry. I think he still loves football, dedicated to football. He's not going to do anything to get in trouble And I think he could be a really good complement to Garrett Wilson on the New York Jets. And I think it would only cost you like a third, maybe a second round pick. But I think a third would be able to get this done. I don't think the Panthers value him as much. Could be wrong. But I would be shocked. I think it would be a shocking trade. But I think the Jets, if traded, based on what I've seen from Carolina and what I've seen from analysts talking about the Panthers receiving core, I wouldn't be shocked if he's on the trade block, Xavier Legette. So let me know what you guys think. But moving on, another player that I think would be a shocking trade, not really a shocker going back to it, but the team I think would be a good fit for him. It's Travis Etienne. There's rumors that he's going to be he's on the trade block. The Jacksonville Jaguars have two good young running backs, one that they just drafted this past year. And Travis Etienne has really not lived up to the hype coming out of college from Clemson. He's with his college quarterback in Trevor Lawrence, but both of them really haven't lived up to the hype that they've had surrounding them. Travis Etienne, I could definitely see being traded. He's only 26, but he's dealt with injuries. He's 5'10", 215 pounds. Great coming out of the backfield receiving-wise. Not the best power running back. That's not his game. He's more about speed. I think the Minnesota Vikings would be perfect fit for Travis Etienne. And I think it would only cost them a 4th-round pick. Running backs don't go for much. He's a little bit older. He's in 26 and has dealt with injuries already. But I think if the Vikings really want to help out McCarthy, they're already surrounding him with good tight ends, TJ Hawkinson. They're surrounding him with great receivers in Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson, and they have a good third receiver as well, which I forget his name. And they got Rondale Moore, who they just signed as well. Get McCarthy a solid young running back who could be there for a while. I think you're setting him up for success, and I think O'Connell could get Etienne set up for a good spot for him as well and won't put him in a situation that basically outs him. I think Etienne would fit perfectly with the Vikings offense, and I think that would be a great spot for him. And I think the Vikings could only give up a 4th-round pick for him. I don't think the Jaguars value him that highly. And there's been talks about him being on the trade block already. I think the Vikings would be a perfect fit for Travis Etienne. And continuing on, another player. I brought this guy up as a potential cut candidate, but he's still young. Treylon Burks. He's 25 years old. He's 6'2", 225 pounds. He is a possession type of receiver with okay speed. Honestly, has not worked out for the Tennessee Titans. Really hasn't. He was supposed to be the A.J. Brown replacement and has just been a complete dud. Has not shown much. But there's upside. He's only 25 years old. He's a powerful guy. 225 pounds. He's 6'2", possession type of receiver. You put him in as a number 2, number 3 option. I think he could be solid. I think he could still be fixed. And I think the team that could definitely help him is Pete Carroll and the Raiders. You have Geno Smith as your quarterback now, so a more stable quarterback throwing him the ball. Because let's see what he was working with. He was working with Marcus Mariota, Ryan Tannehill, who was looked at as not being great until he got to Tennessee. And then what did he do? He force-fed the ball to A.J. Brown. So Mike Vrabel was his coach too, and force-fed the ball to A.J. Brown or ran the ball with Derrick Henry. So there's not much to show for Treylon Burks as well, because after Tannehill left, then what'd you have? You had Levis, who, as you know, doesn't make the smartest decisions, who they could move on from as well. Who else? They had Mason Rudolph last year, who showed some stuff, but didn't show a lot. They have Calvin Ridley now as their number 1 receiver. Treylon Burks is moving lower and lower on the depth chart. But the Raiders, on the other hand, who's their receiving core? Jacoby Myers, Brock Bowers, Michael Mayer. That's about it. They have Ashton Genty now as their running back. Get Treylon Burks over there as your wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 3 as a good complement to Jacoby Myers. Still young, I think could help out Geno Smith. I think he still has a way to show what he can do in the NFL, and I think the Raiders would be a good fit for him. And I don't think it would cost much. He hasn't shown much. I think a 6th-round pick would get it done. I honestly do. And my evaluations might be off, and you guys might think that there's no way he goes for a 6th round. I think he could. That's my opinion. If you disagree, that's okay. That's what we're here for, to talk about these things. But I think Treylon Burks to the Raiders makes too much sense. Now, continuing on, I brought this guy up already. Will Levis was another potential cut candidate for me in another video, but I also could see him getting traded. He's a 25-year-old quarterback with a cannon of an arm. He's 6'4", 229 pounds. He is the prototypical size for a quarterback and the arm that offensive coordinators dream of having in their quarterback. He has a cannon and it makes it look easy flicking the rock. Problem is, up here, his decision-making is not great. And he's been in situations where he could have his team up and just doing well, and then will make one or two boneheaded plays, and the game will turn on him. He's still young, though. We're all talking about Justin Fields as being the next quarterback that breaks out, that recovers and turns his career around. Why not Will Levis, too? I think a different team could be a perfect fit for him. And honestly, I think the Steelers could be a great fit for him if they traded for him. They need a quarterback. They have Mason Rudolph over there. They have Will Howard, who they drafted. Skylar Thompson, I believe, is still over there as well. Will Levis added to that group. I think Will Levis has a great shot to start over there. Honestly, still young, rocket of an arm, throwing up to DK Metcalf could be awesome for him. I think it would only cost him a 5th-round pick, too. I don't think he goes for much, and I think Pittsburgh would be a great fit. I also think the Saints maybe as well with their quarterback room at this point, but I think the Steelers make too much sense for a quarterback like Will Levis. Continuing on. This is a guy who I'm not going to lie, these are guys who I think could be shocking cut candidates, but the talent is there for these guys. And honestly, DeMarvin Leal is somebody who I really liked when he was coming out in his draft. He was a very underrated defensive lineman. The problem was Pittsburgh took him, and he's dealt with neck injuries. He's dealt with some serious injuries that have kind of derailed his career. He hasn't been in the league for very, very long. He's only 24 years old. He's 6'4", 290 pounds, more of a pass rushing type of defensive tackle, but can give you something in the run game. Honestly, again, the Jets, I think, would be the best fit for him. We have Derek Nottie, who I really like that we got from the Chiefs. We have Leonard Taylor III, who I really like as an undrafted free agent that we signed last year. Byron Cowart has been showing out in OTAs as of now. But other than that, you got Quinnen Williams, who is a stud. We all know this. But other than Quinnen Williams, you have these guys who we don't know how they're going to fit next to him. DeMarvin Leal, young, 24, tons of upside. And a lot of these defensive tackles, too, it could take them a little while to get their footing in the NFL. I think DeMarvin Leal still has a ton of upside. I don't think he fits with Pittsburgh now because they just drafted Derek Harmon, who is basically the same type of player as a DeMarvin Leal. So I think that made DeMarvin Leal expendable. I think they can get something for him, though. If the Jets send a 3rd-round pick or something else to the Steelers, I think the Jets can get a solid number 2 defensive tackle option and make this defensive core young, aggressive, hungry, and physical. And that's something that AG has been preaching so far. And I think DeMarvin Leal can be a stud for the New York Jets in this type of defense. So I think the Jets would be a perfect trade partner for the Steelers to get a player like DeMarvin Leal and maybe throw over like an Allen Lazard if A-Rod does sign there. Send Allen Lazard and a draft pick for DeMarvin Leal. I think that could possibly work. Maybe a little bit more. Maybe a little bit more draft capital as well. But I think DeMarvin Leal could possibly be a shocking trade candidate, and I think the Jets would be a great fit for him. Continuing. Jets fans know this guy well. John Franklin Myers. Now, you're probably thinking, John Franklin Myers had a great year last year for the Broncos. Why would they want to trade him? Well, his contract situation, he's getting paid a good amount of money. I think he's got like 1 or 2 years left on his deal. The problem is they have players over there that for the edge rushing position and linebacking position that had more sacks than John Franklin Myers last year and could make him expendable. There's been rumors that they don't know what they want to do with John Franklin Myers yet. He plays interior. He can play interior D-line. He can play the edge rushing position. He's only 28 years old. He's still getting better and better. Honestly, the best fit I could see him going to is the Packers. They need interior defensive line help, and John Franklin Myers fits that defense really, really well. And I think the Broncos could get a 4th-round pick for him, maybe a 3rd, but I think a 4th-round pick would suffice. And I think the Packers would get much better on that defensive line with John Franklin Myers. So he could be a trade candidate or a shocking trade that could still happen this offseason. So John Franklin Myers to the Packers, I could definitely see happening at some point. And I think that would shock people. Another one. This guy's name's been brought up a ton, and I don't know why he hasn't been traded. And now, hell, the Raiders could keep him. They have Brock Bowers, but they could keep Michael Mayer as well. He is still a solid young tight end who can block and has some receiving ability. But honestly, he's 23 years old. They drafted Brock Bowers, who had an amazing career last year as a rookie. He's 6'4", 265 pounds. I think the best fit for Michael Mayer could be the Jaguars. They need tight end help. They have receivers. They just drafted Travis Hunter, who's going to play cornerback and receiver. They have Brian Thomas Jr. They have weapons. They have good running backs as well. They're going to trade Travis Etienne or cut him, but they still have 2 solid running backs behind him. Michael Mayer could be the number 1 tight end for the Jaguars and help that team. And I think Trevor Lawrence would love to have somebody like Michael Mayer who can block for you and be a receiving option as well. I think it would only cost the 4th-round pick. There were talks. The Raiders really did consider trading Michael Mayer. I don't know what happened to those talks, but I still think he could be a solid option for a team like the Jaguars who are desperate for tight end help. I would like the Jets to go after because I still think the Jets tight end group is still young. Stone Smart, I'm really excited about. Mason Taylor, I'm excited about. And you never know what we have with Jeremy Ruckert either, with the connection with him and Justin Fields. But I still think getting somewhat of a veteran like Michael Mayer, who has proved he could play in this league, I think he could be beneficial and help out the Jets as well. But I think the Jaguars are the best fit for him. I also thought the Falcons, but they have Kyle Pitts, who's more of a receiver. This guy could be the blocking and receiver version. So Michael Mayer is a person who could be traded as well that I think about. And honestly, I don't think it would be that shocking if he's traded, to me anyway, but to others, they might be shocked. But again, guys, let me know what you think. I went through a good amount of players with you guys here, and these are players that I think could be traded. It might be shocking to some. These are shocking trade candidates, in my opinion. Some, not so shocking. Kirk Cousins, we know he's probably going to get traded. I almost put Jalen Ramsey on here, but obviously we know he's going to get traded. The Dolphins made it known that they're going to trade him. But there's some. Xavier Legette. Could he be traded? They beefed up that Panther receiving core over there. So he could be the odd man out. I know he's young. Could a player like Adonai Mitchell from the Colts be a trade candidate? He had a down year, and I don't think the Colts are as high on him. Could Kyle Pitts be a trade candidate? They say that they want to have him rebound with the Falcons, but he's been a disappointment for them. Maybe a new spot would be good for him. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Honestly, I love hearing your guys' opinions. It always makes me happy. I do my best to reply to you guys as fast as possible, so never think if I don't respond right away, I'm going to make sure I get to your response. And I appreciate anybody who does comment and let me know what they're thinking. Please, it's always fun, and I always love interacting with you guys. And thank you so much again for joining me in the Jets Ward. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one.